at Chumba Concept Salon in Melbourne. One of the things that we are definitely on the forefront, especially in Melbourne and Australia and maybe even globally, the thing that we really do specialise in constantly in the salon is scalp bleaching. So I just want to take a moment to talk about that because it is something that we have really carved out quite a reputation, and it's something that we take a lot of pride and passion in as being a salon that is able to do that. Where does that stem from? The location of my salon on Chapel Street is pretty high fashion, and we became very, very good at scalp bleaching because we were doing a lot of the brights and the rainbows and the yellows and the blues, and you know, to really create the most amazing rainbows, you have to have the best possible lightning service underneath that to create whatever your dream shade is over the top of that. From that, we then moved into the platinum market, which was, you know, being able to create the most amazing lilac or soft pink or beige or, you know, white, white paper white sort of blondes, and we're really able to kind of move into that market. We do a lot of scalp bleaching. We have a stylist in our team who holds the world record for, I don't think it is the world record, it's the Chumba record for the most amount of scalp lightening services in one day, and that was 8, which is pretty amazing. Most days and times of the salon, if you came into our salon, we are doing scalp bleaches. It's what we do. We're very passionate about it. We love it, and we are always getting better, and we are always learning, and we are always pushing that envelope and making sure we're using the best possible quality products on the market to create the best scalp bleach. So the number one thing I would say if you're thinking of being a scalp bleaching client would be definitely to have a consultation to make sure that you're suitable for it. So the things that we would look for in a consultation for a scalp bleaching client would be the health and condition of your scalp. So we're looking for a really healthy scalp. It will have great blood flow. When we move the scalp like this, it'll be nice and squidgy, and it will move around beautifully, so it won't be taut and tight. We'll be asking you questions like, have you ever had any allergies to colour? Do you have allergies in general? All these things can have an impact on your ability to have a scalp bleach. Another thing that we're going to look at is scalp bleaches are very high maintenance. So to really commit to a great scalp bleaching result, we are going to need to put you on a 5 to 8 week rebooking regime to maintain the absolute best colour you possibly can. We've all seen those scalp bleach walking around with sort of like an orange band and a little bit of a yellow band. So banding is basically just a result of leaving your visits too long, and then and if you leave it too long and you come in outside of the heat band, which is basically how far away your hair is growing from your scalp, that's when we risk kind of doing that banding. So that's why it's very, very important as a scalp bleach client that you will come in between that 6 and 8 week mark to maintain the best result in the salon. If you were coming in for a scalp bleach, we would love you to come in with the most dirty hair, not dirty hair, well, kind of, if you haven't washed your hair for 3 to 4 days, that will be absolutely amazing. So what you'll find is the natural oils that sit on your scalp are the best protector for you against the chemical service of a scalp bleaching. That's very, very important as well. We take a lot of care with our scalp bleaching. We will give you these little ear masks, because what we find is ears are way more sensitive than the scalp, and we don't want to see any of the lightening products getting all over your ears. Otherwise you can have reactions on the ears. It's very, very important. Sectional rinsing. So you'll find when you come into the salon, the products that we use for scalp lightening are time bound. So if it takes me 30 minutes to apply your scalp bleach, the color result where I finish and where I start are going to be very, very different. So we would make sure that we're doing what we call sectional rinsing. So we rinse off one section, we rinse off the other section, this section, to make sure we get the most even possible canvas we can to create whatever dream tone that we're wanting to do over the scalp bleach. So number one thing with the scalp bleach is definitely the care of the scalp and making sure your scalp is suitable for it, making sure that you understand, I guess, the time commitment that you need to put into having this type of result and how often we're going to need to see you, and obviously the associated costs that are going to go with that as well. It's important you understand how to prep your scalp when you're coming into the salon, making sure you've got that 3 to 4 day old that hasn't been washed, so we have that beautiful oil buildup on your scalp, which is your own natural protector. So those things are really important to us at Chumba to create, you know, the ultimate scalp bleaching scenario. If none of those boxes work for you, if you don't want to come in like that, or you do have a slightly irritated or sensitive scalp, we have other options for you. It's okay. So if you don't fit that mold, we then move you into several different other options, which are going to be great to create the best possible color on you. So very passionate about scalp bleaching. We are definitely very next level on it, and we are always striving to really make sure that we are on our ball with that particular technique. It can be the most amazing executed result we can do in the salon, but if you're not really invested as a hairdresser in that type of work, there are just so many things that could go wrong, which would be banding, breakage, burning scalps. All these things are very, very serious, and this is why a lot of salons will kind of veer away from it, but we definitely have fronted up for it, and we take on board all of those responsibilities really, really seriously. But definitely in my team, if I go in there and I say, well, what is your favorite thing to do, they will probably say scalp bleaching, because, you know, you get the most impactful, amazing results, and it's a technique that not a lot of other salons do or do well. So we've really carved a niche there, and we're super obsessed about, you know, scalp bleaching and being the best at it. Scalp bleaching can be for short hair, it can be for the longest of hair, it can be for the darkest of black levels or the lightest of Nordic levels. You know, everyone is a candidate to be a scalp bleach. Some of the things, if you've never had one done before, I would 100% recommend a consultation. If you have any type of correction, like maybe some old colour on the mids and the ends that may not play nicely with the new scalp bleach colour, that is something that we would take into account as well to design the best colour for you. So hopefully that's been a little bit helpful on scalp bleaching. If you have any questions or queries on that, please drop us a line and we will 100% sort you out for scalp bleaching.